The federal government has reiterated its commitment to the infrastructure development of Nigeria. Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, made this disclosure in Lagos in a meeting with social groups to give a scorecard of the Buhari administration in the power, works and housing sector 3 years on. The minister said the federal government will continue to improve on the nation's infrastructure to ensure the breaking of barriers and enhance national economic development through commerce.
Infrastructure development in Nigeria has always been on the front burner, especially as it affects the nation's ability to provide sustainable infrastructure, and 16 years of relatively high oil prices in the world market was a source of optimism for many. But the 16 years was a story of neglect for Nigeria's critical infrastructure, from roads to power and housing to rails. It was a story of neglect, with many wondering if the stories were indeed true. The inauguration of the Muhammadu Buhari administration laid bare the issues needed to be addressed to put the nation in the path of development. Over 200 road contracts valued at over 2 trillion naira were abandoned, with only just above 18 billion naira budgeted for roads in Nigeria in the 2015 budget by the Jonathan administration. Many cried foul over what was termed inadequate despite the quantum of resources available to the country between 1999 and 2015. The advent of the Buhari administration and the appointment of former Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola as Minister of the combined Ministry of Power, Works and Housing was seen by many as a masterstroke. 3 years on from the inauguration of the Buhari administration, the federal government is giving an update at this forum in Lagos with social clubs. According to the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, the government has improved in the sectors under his watch.
Now, we haven't finished all the roads, but one of the objectives of the infrastructure spending first is to get the economy back to production, and we're seeing that production is already on the way. Demand for bitumen, demand for building materials, mining, laterite, sand, rocks is going on, and those who are in the mining business will tell you this.
Going further, he disclosed that an appreciable level of improvement has been achieved in the power sector in all the 3 legs of the value chain. He however added that challenges remain which the government is working to address, but that the story of today is different from that of 2015.
You will recall that even the distribution companies were complaining that they didn't have enough power to sell. You will remember that period. That story has changed. Generation of power has moved from about 4,000 megawatts to 7,000 megawatts. And as I said in that documentary, I know where almost 1,000 megawatts is coming from this year, standing here.
In the housing sector, the minister disclosed that the National Housing Program has so far been an unqualified success, one that is the second attempt by any government in the history of Nigeria to put in place measures to address the issue of housing on a national scale.
Not only are we piloting housing, we are also assisting people to get housing. So the Federal House Mortgage Bank is issuing mortgages from the pool of National Housing Fund. We are trying to expand that pool to people outside the formal government system. We think that drivers, artisans, bricklayers can also contribute to that pool and draw from it, because it is the only place where, one of the few places, if not the only place, where you can get mortgage loans at about 6%. But you need to contribute to be able to draw. So we want to expand the scope beyond government workers to cooperatives and all of them who can then draw.
On what the government has done differently to achieve results against what was obtainable before now, he said the government is doing more with less.
For almost 70 years, our economy grew, our population grew, we didn't expand our port. And at the time we were expanding, we were already in a port crisis. That was when we built the Tinkan Island port and designed the road out of tin can, coconut, all through my two. I was a teenager there, I was about 13.
Members of the audience had questions to ask on what the situation is right now after his opening statement.
We have seen your hand in these three key ministries. I want to ask, this interaction today, will it be extended to other states? We have 36 states and the federal capital state. Will it be extended to other 36 states? Because there are certain things I didn't know before that I'm knowing as I am here today.
The people in the corridor, one thing I just want to ask on their behalf is, what is the sense and how are you planning to take care of this road? Especially, let there be a collective measure for now, before the roads get...
In response, the minister said the federal government will continue to do what is necessary to address the nation's infrastructural gap, but added that projects will not be started for the sake of it.
All of these things will come through. There is nothing wrong with us, at least not our country. But we just have to ask ourselves, what did we do yesterday? And should we continue? Should we continue to import rice? Should we continue to earn $100 per barrel and not invest them in ports?
He called the Nigerians to be prepared for the battle ahead between what they rejected and what they want.